Today, connecting life and work isn't just complicated, it's become incredibly complex. The environmental forces of climate change, the growing digital transformation of technology, disruptive competitors, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the resulting blending of home and office are all driving a new level of consciousness regarding the fragility of our families, our work, and now even democracy itself. It's clear our lives are being profoundly impacted. In the world of management and leadership theory, just focusing on planning, organizing, staffing, and controlling is no longer sustainable. Everyone is looking for a new way of working that builds and sustains trust, empathy, and authenticity. Leaders need a new way of being, sensing, leading, and learning if this is to happen. These are fundamental changes and a success imperative. Leaders and team members everywhere are asking new kinds of questions. Who am I? What kind of contribution do I want to make? What kind of leader do I want to be? What kind of teams do I want to empower? One answer to some of these questions is attentive leadership. Attentive leadership is a new approach that involves the mindful intertwining of neuro-leadership, transformational change best practices, and adaptive strategy execution operating models. It focuses on being, sensing, leading, and learning to encourage individuals and teams to be present, engaged, agile, and adaptive. Being aware brings a new attitude, mindset, and a repeatable practice. Attentive leaders are engaged in a continuous developmental journey through awareness of self, of the environment, and of current leadership challenges. Through practice, attentive leaders learn how to read their room and adjust their leadership behaviors to meet the moment, bookended through healthy transactional to transformational behaviors. This is followed by attentive pauses, a proactive practice where individuals or teams stop and take time for reflection and learning. Sensing requires that leadership make explicit and in some situations question the intersection of macro and micro cultural influences witnessed through cultural artifacts, allowing exploration of the deeper tacit assumptions that support shared organizational beliefs. Sensing requires a deliberate cultural assessment to understand and mitigate the gaps between espoused organizational values with witnessed leadership behaviors. Sensing also involves closing the knowledge gap by creating predictive sensing systems that can monitor in real time shifts in the ecosystem and from those shifts generate insights. This in turn empowers team members to engage in healthy self-directed action through assessing implications collaboratively in an agile and adaptive way. Agile, trust-based operating models based on sensing-generated actionable intelligence help attentive leaders more collaboratively read the marketplace, more accurately assess internal head and tailwinds, and more effectively leverage their team's experience. In so doing, innovative approaches become manifest for capability development, strategy course corrections, and issues management decision-making. Group Agile best practices such as sprint and deep dive execution methodologies and periodic pause and reflect build muscle for managing complexity and team adaptability. This makes solving complex problems easier and keeps all in sync. With this new way of working, we're embedding diversity and building a safe haven for disruptors. We're encouraging iterative learning and innovation, defined by each unique contributing role or persona. It's more than book, online, or instructor-led learning. It's about mentoring and coaching with directs, with bosses, and with peers. With iterative experimentation, innovation, and effective feedback loops, effective learning ecosystems are supported by dynamic knowledge libraries, communities, information portals, best practices, lessons learned compendiums, intertwined with accountability as well as specific execution activities, all monitored actively and modeled by senior leadership. Launching and sustaining change requires a compelling brand voice. It begins with the building of shared language, centered on the big picture, that holds real meaning in people's hearts and minds. Leveraging a clear, simple voice that emotionally resonates with consistent messaging enables the new way of working to reach a broad audience and encourages the amplification of the shared vision of what the future change holds for everyone. Deliberate feedback channels encourage people to sit up and take notice. They also provide insight to how participants are really feeling about the change, while enabling them to share personal impact stories, experiences, and feelings that can be guided and/or re-amplified in the brand voice. Leaders need to be visible and seen working in, not just on, the change by communicating insights and actions through real-time dashboards and scorecards, transparently available to all. In this way, leadership and decision-making move to those closest to the problem. Orchestrators empower teams by creating environments of trust where change can happen. With this new role comes a new set of skills, philosophy, mindset, and practice that connects and threads people, teams, functions, and even organizations through empathy and understanding. Orchestrators also keep the flame of the big picture alive and visible, and keep teams focused on the end game with agility and adaptability. Leaders must continually get and stay connected. This new way of working helps keep them ready for what's changing now and what will change. But transforming to this new way of working won't happen with the flip of a switch. Momentum is gained with continual, incremental steps that usher in a new era for everyone.